All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here for it. It is honestly the duo of the fresh shaven cuts. I know I've had them up on
Mm.
my head, but you are seeing me at my finest. It may not be that good, but Graf, we got a good matchup here. OU taking on Midway last season or last regular season game.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. The number 4 seed and the number 7 seed are kicking it off. And the thing about the Ohio University, right, is this they're on the cusp of that top 25. They
Yeah.
just can't seem to break, into that standing, but they've had so many incredibly close matches against these top teams. Northwood Blue, they're out of this world, but Midway, this is also a phenomenal team. They're sitting at number 7. They've been looking good and consistent throughout the season. So I think this could be a true battle in the series because I don't think you and I have casted a Mat 5 of Ohio University.
No, we did. It was Adrian last week.
Oh, we did. Oh man, that was it last was
I
it
think
last
it.
week? Man, have I casted that much COD?
I don't.
No,
I
that
don't.
was that was 2 weeks ago then. No, they didn't even go to map 5. It was map 4.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
no, it
I
felt like
I
a
have
map
stat.
five. It felt like every map was a map five, but. All right, hold on. I apologize, stream. I'm running production today, not your good old boys Alien, so it's going to be a bit choppy here. So we need to stop that. We're hopping into it. Vault Hardpoint is our map 1. I'm excited about this because this seems to be a familiar foe to the side of this OU roster. They love this map. It's like the back of their hand.
Yeah, they love it, but they haven't always had the greatest of success on it. They get some good wins, they get some bad ones. So I think it's more on a consistency level and how they feel. But you and I were talking to the team before this series started up. They haven't played a single
Oh, yeah.
inkling of Call of Duty since last week's matches. So is that going to come out to kind of hurt them going up against Midway?
Well, that's the thing. Like, Midway, maybe not. I mean, this is one of the tougher teams in this Midwest Metro division. They are sitting, I think, at the number 6 rank, so they're right below EMU COD, and they're sitting again, like kind of like what Adrian was when the same matchup happened against OU. But I mean, we saw this. It really just depends on how fast and how warm the side of the Bobcats can get.
Up to Broby as well. It kind of feels like it's a feast or famine with him at times. I know there's a lot of Broby fans out there, but he doesn't always have the most consistent games, and has these hot and cold moments. But you look at Eternals with that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle skin. Oh my goodness, that is a mouthful as he's starting to find a few kills. But E-Man, he gets off of the donut here, finally finds one. And they are going to have the spawns as well. A little bit of a tight-knit setup. I don't mind it, but you need to be able to find these opening kills.
And that doesn't happen. He's able to find the opener to the side of the Bobcats. Broby sliding in. The collapse is partially about to happen. As you're flanking the backside, Duffy with one as well. You're now getting into the mix, trading effectively. Last player on time is number 6, but Hazy able to come to his aid. And this is a thing I feel like we've seen with this captain here, Hazy himself. He has now subtly switched to a sub role in the past few weeks, and I felt like it's boosted their confidence in certain situations.
It's nice to be able to have that type of flex player as well, because when you inject a new player, which they haven't had a new player necessarily, they've been with the same roster all season, but sometimes you just kind of feel like, hey, this is more your play style, so maybe start getting more up close and personal, and maybe it's going to be Clutch or Duffy that is going to be putting on that AR role. I think it's actually going to be Clutch, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to kind of wait and see, but he does pull back out the AR. But being that third submachine gun, you can tell he hits the next level.
He does indeed, and it brings another additional firepower to the side of this Bobcats when it's needed. I mean, we usually see it on like a Skyline or Slay-heavy maps, but you know, they're sitting comfortable here. I think they found their rhythm, and again, this is the last week of the regular season for the side of these two teams, well, for every team in the Midwest, but they're looking to close out with a win. They're looking to come out strong, and they've done that so far. They're at a 40-point lead in Vault Hardpoint. They have the rotation to this P4, and me and you both know that, again, talking to these guys week in, week out, P4 has been a backbreaker for them. It has been, honestly, do or die.
It's like getting baned over and over and over again, and you and I just have to consistently watch that scene happen, and Duffy pulls out the pistol. He's just as good with the AR as he is with the iron sight, or excuse me, the red dot. in the pistol in hand, but that is 3 members in the feed. Broby is there to combine for 2. So is Eternals. He's currently leading that squad in blue, which is going to be 11 and 10 as he does go down on a 3 spree. We see it once again, though, here, Corpses. They are getting broken down on this P4.
It's just, I don't know what it is. The setup is there. I mean, you have the routes covered. You're able to keep some spawns, or at least 2 people are able to spawn at old. And I feel like, again, this is what just OU kind of lives for, choppy gameplay in a sense. You come away with 30 seconds at this P4 area. The other team gets like 20 or so. And you'll live with it because now you're spawning out the good side, especially with 5 seconds left. You can set up for P1. So that was the first successful P4 I have seen this team put together. And on this map, I mean, they've had others, but I mean, that's a great way to start out map 1, especially, yeah, I mean, you're still holding, what, a 40-point lead heading into the second rotation of hills?
You're doing a great job at it. I think it comes down to communication with those boys. You know, you have 2 months roughly under your belt of playing as a team, maybe 3 if you're lucky and you knew the roster ahead of time, but that's going to something that's going to impact how you play and potentially how you situate yourself in those P4s. So I think it kind of comes down to a communication, who's watching what, and sometimes these players tend to get a little overzealous and ego chow out when they shouldn't. So that is just kind of, you know, you live by the sword, you die by it.
It is the motto, they say, you know, the Fast and Furious is their gameplay, and sometimes it bites them in the butt. But again, they're still holding a 60-point lead heading into the second hill. They are circling this P2, I add. They have pressure everywhere, but gunfights going the way of Midway. They come away with a huge break, and E-Man 9 and 14. He's gonna find a kill backside P2, sit on this hill, and I will say, if there's one person on the side of this Midway roster you want to look towards, it is Eternals. Well, actually, Goins. He's on a 4 spree as well.
Yeah, he keeps on going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny. Make it 5 in a row, 13 and 14. Oh, he slides out at the right moment. Clutch JD with another pistol in his hand. I just don't think he likes to reload his AR when he has the opportunity. And E-Man, he starts to step it up when he had a little bit of a slow go. He's making sure he's at least keeping par with the rest of his teammates. Broby trying to be that entry player, but when you're the only member there, you're not going to be able to get the time. Slowly but surely, Midway, they've kept themselves in this game.
They have, oh, big win, I should say, right here. Top art from the side of Goins. He has started to heat up ever since that 6 spree. It was a sticky situation, though, coming off that P2 hill graph. They, both teams had parallel spawns. It was a race to that top art. Goins able to lock it down. And X-Uni also coming in as well. He's cleaning up on a 5 spree as well. And like you said, they have done just enough to stay in this map. The thing is, with Midway, they're in a similar situation with OU. It's almost coming down to like whoever can hold P4 or get that full 60 is really going to blow this map wide open.
It's going to blow it open like the true battle of Midway back in 1942. This is just keeps getting better and better. Eternals, my man, is getting it done on screen as he's currently looking to mow more players down in green, and he's continuing to do so. They are starting to hit their stride as they are now only within 10.
And look at this. They also get the spawn outs. They're able to get that player top art. They're able to get the player that's trying to retreat back to P4. So now you're spawning OU out. But again, this has kind of been the Bobcats' style. They like to break a little bit more than hold. Honestly, I don't know what it is. They have the strength of an Iron Man when it comes to the fist. And we're seeing it right here. 3 dead, 2 from the side of Broby. You get a nice clean one, and you're right in time. So the rotation was basically for nothing if you're Midway.
Ohio, they love to play from the back foot, and so, you know what? Allow them to play the break instead of play the hold, because they are getting more time on this hill than we have seen them ever get. It's already 20 seconds to their name if they find these openings, and they don't. Oh my goodness, they just simply can't win the gunfights here for us.
Well, it's, yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like, it's almost like holding every lane, but bro be able to come away with a nice 2-piece. And we talk about the man, feast or famine. Again, oh my God, some shaky shots, I shall say, but he gets the job done. He's 33 and 18, like you said. When he is going on, well, we obviously see OU in the lead.
Yeah, you saw Broby, you know, had a part-time shift at the windmill, but he does eventually connect on it as he's looking for one more, make it 6, and this is what you look for, the high impact plays. And he's continuing to do so until he gets shut down. Goins will be the player to deny him. A lot of P1 time going in favor of the team in blue. He pulls out that submachine gun, and specifically for this P1, I don't mind it at all.
No.
Keep that pressure up, but every single player from the side of Ohio, they're sitting negative except for Broby.
Clutch also able to find a big two-piece there to enter this point, and honestly, it's been interesting because I don't think we've seen OU go like this since week 1. Again, there was a lot of love towards Broby. He came out. Ohio, the Bobcats, they were a little bit slow. Their other players, Broby made up for it, but that's also why they were in some close matches early on in the season. I felt like it's because there was, I don't want to say a lack of effort, but, you know, there was some guys struggling and some more room or air for things to happen for Midway to sneak in. And again, which is why they're only down 50. They need a huge break, though. So this is the hill that I think is the money hill for the side of the Bobcats.
It absolutely is, and so put the dagger in the team of Midway as well. In this series, remember, this is the last week of the College COD, the last match for them, so it's really not going to affect seeding a whole lot just because Ohio, they've realistically have confirmed that number 4 seed no matter what, sitting at 10-3. I think the closest team only has 8 victories behind them, so even if they lose, this is just going to allow them to maybe bump themselves up a tad bit when come playoff time.
And that's really what they're looking for. I mean, again, you look at how the weeks have shaped down. They've really had some rough matches against the Buckeye COD, against UC. I mean, Northwood Blue last week was a tough one to watch. But it's just like that's the level. That's the separation. And again, I don't know if it's like what their schedules are like. Again, all these guys are in school and whatnot. But we heard, like you said, we heard before the match, none of these guys have played COD since that last week. So, you know, maybe a little practice will go a long way, but again, they're sitting comfy for playoffs.
Yeah, come college, you know, you gotta take the academics first, and if I went back to college, which I'm thinking about doing, I'm gonna feel like Billy Madison out there, be the old man on the block, as Zuni coming in, trying to collect a few more seconds, not able to do so. Still, if you're midway, you've been holding the entire side of the middle map towards that P1, but look at number 6. It's gonna be Clutch JD. Potentially find that opening. No, he does get spotted, or does he not? Actually, I'm not sure if he did, but Goins wins it, and he's on 5 in a row. The man's dropped 34.
We'll see what happens. And he's gotten into power positions that have really propelled his gameplay. I feel like he's started to hit more towards that top art on that P2. He's getting the side, like the side, what is that, the little side block that you can heady. And he's just like living in these corners. He's finding one, playing his life, letting his teammates pop out, get kills, and it's been like this, which is where they've had success. The problem is they have let too many players on the side of OU slip through, which has allowed players like Broby or Hazy, when they have the sub, to make big 2 pieces, 3 pieces, and break the hill on their own.
Allows that pressure to come in through the front door, but Duffy, unfortunately, he's getting bashed in the face with it. He just says, you know what, Broby, go off, my friend, as the man is on 47 kills. But this game has gotten a lot closer here, Corpse, as you are still fighting for seconds. You cannot allow this one to go down. Midway, they have to contest it. And number 4, he might be the only guy to do so.
Oh, and look at this Broby off spawn. He's able to get the cut off position. You might as well call game. Iron up a sight, everybody. They're just like, fire! Oh,
I didn't know if you were going to keep going on that one. All right, but
I've yelled way too much the past weekend, bro.
It's a 250, 201. Great stuff out of the side of Ohio. Again, kind of close, but kind of not. They always had one hand on the steering wheel. They never let their lead fully dissipate, even though I think it got within, what, 10 seconds, maybe even 3 or 4 at some point. They ended up pulling away, and once they got a good amount of time, they made the difference, and Broby almost dropped 5K damage. That is a ridiculous stat line.
I think he heard the calling of last week. I feel like, especially after we were leaked, Zalian accidentally leaving us unmuted. How dare he? No, I'm just joking. Because again, going to what these guys were saying in the pregame, they were like, "Oh yeah, we haven't played COD, we haven't played together in a week," and I think I heard Broby say, "Yo, I've been repping." He's like, "I've been practicing." So,
Oh.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's showing. The man put up what 47 map one.
He says, all y'all in your academic studies, but I'm out here gunning everybody else. And guess what? I mean, he doubled basically his entire teammates or like the closest member to him. So I don't think it even mattered in the slightest. The man had to pop off. I mean, you only won by 50 points. Think if he maybe only got 40, this could have been a completely different game, completely different story coming out of that map one. But now you go on in to the Hacienda Search and Destroy. We love this. And the word that you always use for this map
Oh,
here, Corpse, is creativity. And I love
yes.
it. You're absolutely right. It allows the submachine guns. It is their playground.
It does not describe me in the classroom. So we'll see how that goes. But if I know one thing, OU always has tricks up their sleeves in S&D. It's also where they've kind of battled. I mean, again, this has been the game mode that has served as kind of the jump start when they have slow map ones. I mean, you look at last week. I think it was, or 2 weeks ago when it was Adrian, right? What was it? They went down like 5-1 and they ripped six straight and won it. It was insane. And from that map too, that's when they really showed their dominance.
Yeah, showing their dominance and yeah, just kind of looking at their overall stat line in the search and destroy. It's been their bread and butter, the sugar, the cream, my everything, as Big Rich X
Ah,
would say,
yes,
as they
yes.
continue to dominate just through and through. They've had a lot of close maps. I will give them that. Not a lot of clean like 6-1, 6-2s. It's been some 6-4, some 6-5s, but they have always came out on top when it comes to the search even though I think their gameplay is a tad bit unorthodox in some means, and maybe that is the cause of why they can win against some of these teams because they don't play a traditional style. It's very unique in its own right.
It is indeed, just because I feel like a lot of the times on these open maps, they take that for advantage. So the style that they play is left stick down, we'll run it down their throats. And honestly, everybody win your ones. I feel like that's what it is. A lot of the times it's, I don't say we don't see trading, but there is just everybody's kind of doing their own thing. And again, like you said, the ego that these guys have, the confidence, that's why they're like, okay, we're just going to leave a lot of more or less island players or solo chows, and we'll expect them to go through, which is why, like you said, I think it's caught teams off by surprise.
Oh, it absolutely has. And the sad thing about College COD coming to an end is that we're not going to get it for almost a full another year. I think that's going to be the most
Oh.
disappointing thing when this all comes to an end. And it's going to be a free agency. I would love to see, just a stream about these players if somebody leaves to actually go and play Call of Duty for another squad. I mean, that's the reason why Northwood Blue is so good because they literally have the top challengers players on that roster. They all decide, hey, let's just go here and let's just reap the rewards in the college COD. And I would love to kind of see almost like a free agency how it is in the NFL. It's just people getting signed here, people getting signed there. I would love to have kind of that insider information like CDL intel. But we'll just kind of have to wait and see. We're still in this season. The Hacienda, it's coming up next. And then after that, no matter what, we got a vault control. That is going to be a barn burner for sure.
Oh, it is indeed. Now, me and you both say that this control map is the most fairest control map out of the
Mm.
three. I will say I think I've tend to see Hasi be more offensively favored as well as that map has evolved. I've seen teams hit B a little bit more, but yeah, just vault control. This is another map I feel like that has been kind of in OU's wheelhouse just because the amount of reps that they've played. Now they've also had similar like close matches on this map three, but again they really come away with it, and it's another map that they know at the back of their hand and what they want to do on it.
They don't lose the first blood battles either. They
No.
always have a plan, even when they're at a numbers disadvantage and you have Broby or Duffy on the map. Those are your two individuals that consistently show up in the search and destroy. Broby with his two pieces, he is going to be that aggressor. And I think the one thing that's going to be able to elevate his gameplay, yes, he has this Abizi type playstyle where he is going to be that entry guy no matter what, but you want to see him to be able to pump the brakes. And I think that's the one thing he still needs to learn as a player. On the other side, what are we going to see? I have a feeling that E-Man03, this guy had a slow start in that map one. I'm curious to see what he can do on Midway.
That is interesting because that was going to be my follow-up question. If there was somebody you were going to look for, who would you look for? I'm going to go with Goins because he was another one that had a little bit of a slow starter, but he went positive, and I felt like he did a lot of good work. He was in there with some like 2 pieces, 3 pieces from the side of Midway University. So I'm excited to see him on these maps. If there's one thing that you saw in Hardpoint that can transition into this search, though, for the side of Midway, what would it be, and what do you need to carry over?
They're going to have good post-plant setups. When they got into a situation of a solid hold, they held it pretty well, I would say, for the most part. But when you get into those post-plants, it's going to make that much more of a difference. I have a feeling these guys aren't going to be playing in your typical spot, so expect a lot of creddy corners, a lot of off angles from some of their players, in particular their ARs. So look out for the side of Midway when they get that bomb down.
That's gonna be another huge thing as well. Like if those island AR players can really get a first blood, because that's also gonna dictate how they decide to push maps in certain situations, more or less on the defense side of things. But I like where your head is spinning. If there's one person I'm looking for on the side of OU, it's Clutch JD. The man always seems to go huge in map 2. But we're hopping into it. Hossie search. Zuni able to get first blood.
Zuni denies one, so does Hazzy on the other end. Eternals grabbing the submachine gun. Broby, he takes down Zuni, and immediately he's just kind of shouldering this angle. They have the information where the other 2 players are, so they're going to wrap it back towards A. But look at number 5, Eternals on the minimap. He already feels like he knows this bomb is being wrapped. This is a moment where you've had so much time to get the bomb down. Why aren't you doing it?
And this is it is all just timing. Oh my Eternals, some shaky shots. He does come away with the kill, but number 4 makes his presence known. That is the biggest weakness in the side of the Ohio University. That is like number 1. I feel like we have seen that time and time again, week in, week out. When they get into these 2v2 situations, they have the advantage technically because, like you said, they knew those 2 players were by rock, right? They knew they were at P4. Just put the bomb down south and then, let your subs roam free. Let Broby run free, and Hazzy just needs to hold an angle because he has an AR in his hand. That has been the biggest struggle for OU.
Yeah, just realizing that situation. And you could have had Broby kind of watching the cross as well if you really wanted to, just to secure that bomb plant. But they have plenty of time to get it down. You hesitate for 15. And once they realize, hey, they're not going towards B, we're essentially just going to wrap it back and caught the time. But you know what else they caught this round is a few extra bullets from the players of OU. And that is a swift bounce back.
Yeah, it was a 2-2 stack for the side of this Bobcats team. 2-2 split, I should say. And Hazzy really opening up the gates. Him and Duffy on those top balks. This is another map where they have plans in place. We saw that against Northwood Blue. Those 2 AR players on the side of the Bobcats, the captain and the other one, Duffy, dude, they do a lot of work on Hossie search, just maintaining this top balk control, whether they're keeping it busy or just honestly just putting a gun up in that site and giving information out is incredible in what they've done.
They love the bang outs on that B-side hallway, and it looks like it could be happening again, or no, excuse me, it is the B-side hallway. They just went fully towards outer. Zuni takes down Duffy, but you're getting the bomb plant down this time. I like the call. You don't have the numbers, so put the time in Midway. Don't allow them to have a full break. Give them that extra few seconds to find those openings, and Broby, he's playing this corner. This could determine everything right now.
Yeah, they're going to wait for all these other players to develop. Broby able to find one. Now Clutch, he did get stunned, so he has to back off. He's going to leave number 3 alone here for a minute. He gets taken down. Hazzy doing the divil dance, and what do you do? And in the blink of an eye, all you viewers, bomb is defused.
And Broby, I'm not sure if he tried to cut it back towards middle. I think he got caught out trying to just reinforce that hill. And when you're a submachine gun, it's going to be that much more difficult when the AR gets on top of the rock. Yes, you get tagged up by that frag, but as soon as you back out and you leave your AR isolated, you know he's going to go down. So might as well try to do a little bit damage and at least play for one trade. Didn't happen, and the side of Midway took their time. They got the defuse and the retake.
I mean, like you said, the way this Midway team, they move and groove. Not, and I know you more or less wanted to see it in post-plant situations, but it goes both ways. Like the retakes for the post-plants. It's just we saw patience right there and how they wanted their players to hit routes and the timings. And I feel like that's again, like you said, going to be a strength of theirs. It's just they can't be thrown off their rhythm. Once that happens, that's when OU really goes into overtake mode.
Can't lose the rhythm. It's the rhythm of the feet. Goins,
Yes.
He's trying to bob and weave here as Duffy, he's getting a few tags. Hazzy, Broby, they find the kills. Hazzy there for a double. He delivers. Goins in a 1v3, 0-3. I don't think he's going to find much here, and he immediately goes down. When Ohio, when they find themselves on the defense, they're pretty dominant.
Yes, but wait, did they get the first blood that round?
They did.
Okay, yes. That's another thing. Like when going with their play style and how they do it, when they find the first blood, we just see all these arrows move. It's like instantaneously. It's like, oh, 4v3, run at them. Let's do it. Let's take as much map as we can when we can. And ultimately, they just close the lane super fast, which is what I love, to be honest, about this team.
It's that closing the gap and making sure you get to that angle prior to the other team just to give you that extra edge. The gunfight, the angle makes everything when it comes to search and destroy. Duffy playing for one. He sees the slide back, so he's going to give the call out to his teammate. He can move up, but unfortunately, nobody is there. And look at Broby. The guy just simply is a bloodhound. When he finds these routes, he's going to shoot the gap, and he sniffs out another first blood.
Yeah, but trades come through on the side of both teams. Now you're looking at a 1v3 situation. Eternal's just trying to make a play. Good first offensive win for both for OU. That was the first one we've seen for them, and I like how they did that. They patiently took control of top Balk. They found the first blood. They kind of waited for these players to hit these sort of flanks and timings on the little cutouts in these top Balk areas. I mean, you look at what Spiral, you look at P4 cut, you look at that top secret window. Everybody kind of just doing everything, and OU, they're like, yeah, we're gonna pick a corner and post up.
Broby, you can tell this guy has been practicing off stream. The guy is not missing a bullet when he gets into these engagements, these first blood categories. He continues to dominate as he has 3 so far in 5 rounds. Can he find another one? As they are starting to throw a little bit of pressure over here towards B. They're not giving anything up yet, and Broby has not seen the feet. And we know that he will always get called out for this angle. And can he see them? I'm not sure if he can, but he's just going to take the challenge anyways.
I love it because last week we saw him play this position. He tried to shoot the feet and it gave away his position. He loses the gunfight. Now this week, he's like, yeah, I see those toes. I'm coming for him. I love it, the element of surprise. You have JD on the flip side, the other sub. I mean, it is just picture perfect right now for the Bobcats.
It's been a great start for them. Clutch. He's kind of been the unsung hero as the team. Yeah, we talk about the flashy plays that Broby brings to the scene, but Clutch, he always has a consistent gameplay. You know how he's going to operate, and he's always good to deliver 1 or 2 kills when you need him the most, especially in the search and destroy. He's kind of been, I think, their superstar in this. He has found the 2 pieces, but then, of course, Duffy. When he's allowing his subs to roam, he doesn't have to do anything, but sometimes they depend on that guy as well.
Last week was the first time we saw Duffy really go huge in the search and be that leader. But Hasi is a dream map for Jaden right now. Clutch, like he has all sorts of fun when he can do it, and I feel like when he's free, well, unfortunately, team kill comes down from Broby with the RC, so that's not going to help you. And now you're in a pillbox, everybody falls. You're left in a 1v4 if you're Duffy yourself, who's 0-4.
Yeah, hasn't found anything yet. You're not going to be able to do a whole lot in this situation. Hacienda, not necessarily the map you can clutch up too many 1v4s, but if you get a few isolated gunfights, you're going to be in a great position. Number 7, he realizes where the bomb is down at, and he is sitting right on top of it. Are you going to expect it? He's trying to sniff this one out, get a feel for where these players are, and it really comes down to, is he going to be able to peel off just any one of these members?
He's checking every corner, I shall say, but yeah, he wasn't expecting to play. He wasn't.
No, he wasn't. They had the corners covered Midway. Great adjustment there as well. Once they got that first blood, Broby bringing out the RCXD. Unfortunately, got to take that man's driver's license away after the team kill. A hit and run, you could say. But Zuni getting up to 7-4.
What do you mean? That's why he's at OU. It's a walking campus for a reason.
Oh, well, there you go.
We
That
don't-
solves that.
Yeah, we don't
Do not
drive, bro.
pull out
We-
an
we-
RCXD.
Yeah, we just pull party, bro. Party, everybody walks home.
I can't say the same.
Okay.
I can never. I grew up in Minnesota where if you were running out in the cold in negative 60 degree, you were going to die. But it is Zuni comes out, Duffy there for his first kill. I think he kind of baited out his teammate a little bit. Shots, not clean. You can tell this man has not been practicing.
Practice. But nonetheless, it's a 3v3. Nice little snap there to back that player down, and I like this out of Midway. They tried to work this B-bomb. They're now just going to rotate. But look at E-Man. He's been on a 3 streak. He's going to leak here. He's more or less going to lurk, and now he's going to do a late rotation. Tried to catch a person on this timing here, but everybody from the side of OU, you can tell the arrows. They know the presence isn't into B anymore. It's on to A. The player to watch is Becton. Goins. 0-6. Finds his first kill, so he's not on the donut, but he's on the breadstick.
I would have liked to see Broby kind of hunt that player down. I don't think he realizes it was a 1v1. Maybe that is the aggression and starting to realize, hey, I'm going to play my life, but Hazzy is there. And, oh, wow, he actually got godlike timing for a half second, gets one, but Midway, after dropping 2 back-to-back, they rebound with 2 pieces of their own.
They have indeed. And again, Goins, he's now 5-5. Trading coming through perfectly. But I feel like the problem with this Midway team is just being like first blooded. They've been first. They have lost that category almost. I don't want to say almost every round, but they've been in the disadvantage where it's been 4v3s.
Can't be putting yourself in those types of situations, but it's even across the board. It's 4s in the map, and it's 4s in the first blood category for both teams. That's some good Call of Duty, some good search and destroy. Broby throwing out the trophy, and they are just going to fly at these players. The B site overwhelmed, immediately getting this bomb plant down, but Zuni, great Semtex to take down Hazzy. So once again, you're going to have to try to hold here in a 3v4.
Duffy gonna rotate. Clutch falls now. Collapse comes in. Broby's able to stall for a little bit of time. He's gonna back up to where his AR can help him. They've made this manageable, but they've now planted the bomb in a sticky situation where they have to go around the rock. Broby says no problem. Almost had that. That would have been insane, bro.
Did he mean to do that? I mean, I think he knew a player was at that door. He could have won it, I think. But Midway, they showed their resilience here as they continue to rip off a few rounds, one away from getting the upset. I wouldn't necessarily say the upset in the search and destroy, but it absolutely would be a tad bit of a shocker just with how many reps OU has had on this map.
It would be indeed. But what you mean? Like going back to that last gunfight, Broby just wanted to around the world. He wanted to be that tumbleweed in the air, bro.
The man wanted to be like Flow Rider as he spinned it right round, but he couldn't complete it at task at hand. Goins, and maybe he's gonna show these players in green how to drive. As Zuni takes down Duffy, Hazzy immediately has to back up. The pressure is being felt. Somebody's dipped into the water like they are Michael Phelps. So once they saw that exploding car, they want nothing to do with it.
The thing is, though, I feel like with that first blood coming through. Well, this is another thing about Midway. They really rotate. I think they rotate quickly when they know they can, and that's something that OU really hasn't done well. And if you look at all these numbers are messed up for me. So I was going to go to number 6. He does find one top secret, and we're in another 3v2 situation. You might as well make it a 1v3.
Yeah, number 4, he's going to have to win it. Not able to do so. Midway, we were saying this series could go the distance. They are showing up in the search and destroy. You drop 2, but you bring it back with 4 in a row. The players in blue, these guys, I know, are happy about it to take a map off of the notorious Ohio University.
Yeah, especially on Hasi. The next challenge is, I feel like the first 3 maps, I mean, especially if you look at them, like the first 3 maps we have graced Ohio on, just because the amount of reps and everything, and They know it. The next problem is beating them at a respawn. We have seen so many teams do well in search and take maps off of good respawn teams in 2 and 5. The problem comes down to control. That's really where
Mm.
they need to find something, especially when it's all defense. You have Slayers on the side of OU. It's almost a tremendous task to overcome.
It's a tremendous task as we are going to be loading on into the vault. But while we are waiting for the new lobby to get set up, everyone, don't go anywhere. The map 3 going to come up after this short break.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I apologize for the game audio delay. I'm going to have to shuffle through that in a minute. But we're here, map 3. The series is tied. Oh, it's not tied. The series is 2-1. And we're hopping into control where it's 3 dead already.
The series is tied 1-1. Actually.
It is tied 1-1.
I don't know. Not 2-1. The man's running production. Everybody, give him a break out there. But it is currently the side of Ohio that's going to be on the attack first. Broby trying to double back. Unfortunately, he gets backstabbed like Judas did to Jesus, as has he. He is there as well to find a few extra kills. And he's looking to roam forward and find a few more. And the man is snapping.
He is indeed 3-1. He's allowed his players to leak on into B. Now you got Clutch on a 5 spree as well. He's made his way into bottom art. Everybody getting taken down from the side of Midway. They fall like a lumberjack cutting down logs. And let me tell you this, already one ticket. Well, it's not done yet. But with that 3 dead, we're finally seeing the first tick done at B. Number 4, look at where number 1's at, bro.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh no, oh my god, the guy is just shredded him. He's allowing his teammates. Clutch JD is 6-0. Broby got a multi-kill. This should be over. Yeah, it is. There's no chance to get into it. They are just finding the kills. They are flooding on into death. Broby knew exactly what they were, where they were spawning. It got to come in with that extra practice right there.
That is, yes, indeed. And that is the first time I have actually seen a player get killed off spawn in vault. I've never seen it.
Oh my god, no.
Oh, dude, how did he have that much ammo in the Strider? I thought it was done for.
No, that's like a 30-round mag. That's the crazy thing about the Strider. It's like 30 rounds. Yeah, I think base, it's 20. Base, it's 20. I think, and you're allowed to have the extended mag, so it's 30 or something like that. It's insane. The gun, as fast as you can shoot it, as fast as the trigger finger can go. But the side of Midway, they need to bounce back as they need to take flight here. Like they were in the Pacific Islands, as it's going to be Broby 6-3, trying to shut somebody down, maybe a little overzealous after getting tagged up, but still getting a little damage in.
If you're number 8, you made your way. Zuni, X-Uni, whatever he wants to go by. X-Man. He's doing stuff. 6-3 right now. Keeping the map presence under control for the side of these Blue Eagles. And he's just kind of watching lanes right now. He's letting the subs go to work, and that is Eternals. Oops, wrong person. Eternals. Yes, there we go. He's done a lot of work in map 1. I'm excited to see him pop off in the respawn side of things.
Ooh, a little bit of a caster curse there, and
yeah,
Zuni. The funny thing is I really want to call him Zoomies. You know that store, like the beach board store, store. I don't know how else to explain it, but Duffy dropping triples like it is nothing out there. The man cracks a cold one, and he is just shooting with the other hand as he is looking for another, and unfortunately he will go down. The kill feed is blue. This is the thing that Ohio has done well. They just deal with the flanks, and they consistently put pressure on the other team. And
they make you go to the clock. It is so hard to honestly capture one zone against these Bobcats without it dropping below, honestly, 30 seconds. And that's when the pressure really sets in, because when that all comes through, they are left with like 0 lives, as now we're already cut down to half on both teams.
Cut down to half, but E-Man looking to make a play here, finds a route, might be able to touch a toe in towards the B side. He actually bypasses it. Good timing. This is a beautiful route from E-Round, and nothing comes through. You called it there, Corpse. Somebody's got to get that man.
Yeah, so like the comms came through. He basically gave himself up by shooting that player at statue. I like, that's another thing. Duffy, turn around. Something needs to be said. But the problem is they have had all this presence here, no progress to show for. Because look where number 2 is at, Clutch JD. He's in a, I mean, he's playing top trophy, but right now they're going to draw him out just because that player just sits in a corner. And now this is where it's starting to shape up to be a good round for the side of Midway. E-Man with a nasty snap, I will say. And now 3v3 on the front side of the hill. Or a point. Whatever.
As he just needed to stay down. He didn't need to push off because there's only one member, and it was a very slow capture. Maybe he felt like he had to move because his teammates were getting dropped in spawn, but a 5v10, and oh, now you get a team kill. So there is an opportunity if you take this member off the point, slow everything down, stay alive, and oh, an unfortunate team kill. Clutch JD is gonna have to deal with 2 members. Oh my god, how did he do it?
I don't know, but look, number 1's now here to his aid. It's Broby. Oh, he almost had that kill. But Clutch, the mastermind of routes. What can he find here? He's He's gonna hop back onto this corner. He's gonna reach out. He needs to play. Dude, the man's playing a dangerous game, I shall say. But it's a 4-man stack. You need to chow the point. Duffy not able to get there in time, and Midway, they deal with it in numbers.
Once they got out of their spawn, they felt pretty confident. They had some good map control throughout. They were decisive on where they wanted to go. Zuni, not necessarily the greatest throw that we've ever seen, but the shots are way cleaner as he takes down Duffy. And I love the Dolphin dive. Bring it back to the BO1 days. But 15 and 8, the guy is frying.
See, Graf, here's the thing. What's it with everybody having weak arms? Like, we're seeing a lot of sketchy throws here. I mean, even like you throw the RCXD down, everybody kills their teammate with it. We saw Clutch kill Hazzy with a nade, so come on, boys, gotta hit the gym. I mean, tell them, Graf.
Yeah, I mean, they got to be going into the skyline a little bit more. There is a gym on the map. I'm not sure if Broby maybe disconnected his controller or something. I've seen some weird, funky things happen when the controller disconnects, but he eventually locks back on in. Currently, Clutch already pushed up, and we've seen how deadly he can be from that position. Snaps onto a second, unfortunately, not the right weapon for the job. E-Man not doing a whole lot on the map necessarily when it comes to kills, but he puts himself into a good spot to at least turn the eyes of the players of OU.
It's not enough, though. The player that stays alive is Duffy, 13 and 6, and we talk about him. He's come alive. He almost had a lineup right there. Everybody on the side of OU are feeling themselves clutch now, 13 and 9 as well. They haven't got that second tick on A, though, so this has been a bit of a barn burner, like you say. Always tight in Midway. They always come in these waves. I really like what they do. They send one person on the flank, they make you turn your head. Everybody collapses. But the problem with this is they're getting collatted by Duffy.
Yeah, sound the alarm like Thievery Corporation out there because they are starting to take control of this map. Eventually, it does light up green for a second, so you have a few players hop in. Number 5, that's going to be E-Man taking a flank. Deals with one. Zuni grabs another, but it's 2 pieces left and right. 1 remaining member left on the site. That's going to be Broby. Unfortunately, had to stay alive for an extra second. The support was not quite there.
Yeah, going. Able to clean things up as well with a nice double trade coming. Oh, Clutch also able to find a double of his own. And again, that's what I'm talking about. It's really just like the power that these subs bring. Broby, Clutch, they make plays that should not be possible. I mean, we saw Clutch stay alive, even though it wasn't a play with his gun. He plays his life perfectly. And like, dude, it's just insane, and it creates opportunities like these. Has to be able to leak into the back line, and this is not overtake mode yet, but you have to deal with a couple players.
The fact that they were at 1:30 and they were already down to 12v11 just shows how aggressive these two teams are. They're not even going for the capture. They are just simply going for the kills. Yes, the capture is secondary to them. They're trying to put this way, but I think you should be focusing on that capture because now if the other team wins it, you might not be guaranteed that round 5 defense.
Yeah, and that goes with the motto of OU. You know, fight, fight, fight. You know, win, 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 and fast, fast, fast. But actually, right now I think they're just overconfident. Not overconfident. Right now they have the confidence, and I feel like they're just like, yeah, we can just close it out on this defense right here.
Oh, they're trying to close it out for sure. Midway, this is a team that is sneakily gone under the radar,
Yeah.
you could say, as it was invented in 1944. Remember that, not after, or it was created after the Battle of Midway. Goodness, man, I'm a
How'd that
World War II
work?
reference machine. What?
How's that work though? It was made after the movie, like.
No. What? No, the Battle of Midway in 1942?
Yeah.
It was made, I think radar didn't come into effect until 1944?
But yeah, but like, how did they incorporate it into the movie when it wasn't even made? Is what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe it was. Maybe my facts are wrong. But anyways, we're not here for a history lesson, and I'm not here to give one, even though I might be an old timer. It's Hazzy, 16 and 15, jumps up, and you like to see a good little fadeaway right there. As there's been a lot going on in the NBA. Luka Doncic joining the King as they have been dominating the league so far in the kills department. It's been Midway.
Talk about dominating as well. It's been night goings. has had these little spurts here and there, but he needs to be a consistent AR for the side of this Midway roster if they want to find fluid progress. He's on a 3 spree. He was playing his life P4, basically letting everybody fizzle out around him. Now he's going to rejoin the gunfight. So now Eternals is doing work. Duffy entering in the kill feed as well. But now everybody has fallen. And if you're iGoings, you have basically ran this entire side of the map for nothing. I mean, he finds a kill, but guess what? Well, he's not going to get sniffed out.
No, he doesn't get sniffed out. Goins is on 5 in a row. The man keeps on moving, keeps on grooving before he runs into the submachine gun of Broby, but 37 seconds left. You have 2 ticks over towards A. Broby gets shot from the top ropes. We haven't talked about it. Eternals having a tad bit of a slow start, looking to get going here and help out his teammate by roaming around that pool area as he is shutting all these players down from OU.
Yeah, he does a good job of cutting off these angles. Minute added, extended, whatever you want. Eternals now starting to heat up. On a 3 spree, their team honestly they're winning in the live category on an offense, which is hardly seen. They've done a good job of keeping their map presence in their favor, and I felt like it's been because of iGoings. It's been because of Eternals. They just leak out in certain situations. They find kills here and there. They make the gunfights easier for their teammates, especially number 8 on B Street, Suni 24 and 22. He's done a good job of just taking people down, like, I don't know, every time they pop up.
He continues to dominate in the feed. My goodness, he just rips the head right off of Hazzy, scalps him, and he will keep it like he is one of the inglorious bastards as he's 25 and almost 26. Oh, a few extra body shots from Hazzy as well. He says, I got my get back on you.
It's crazy. Not many people can take down that man. Hazzy is phenomenal in the AR, but looks like everybody from Midway, they're going to check some corners. They're going to hit this vault control door, so the key is for number 3. Well, he was top art. It's actually number 4, Hazzy. He's on this out of palms, and he's going to show what he can do on the AR. He's like, he wants his get back. He's like, I'm not going to get ripped off a heady like that and then go quietly.
No, absolutely not. And oh, now he's starting to do it to the other side. Goins getting a taste of his own medicine as he tries to take down one more, as it's going to be Zuni. But Broby, this is a special from him. Coming in on the flank, 7 in a row, looking to make it 8, but the game, it's done, it's dusted. No, oh, excuse me, it's not quite over until it is.
OU. Interestingly enough, they make a huge stand. I was interested in the play call from the side of Midway because they were up. I think they were up 2 lives, or two or 3 lives when they decided to do that like 4-man hit through mid-map vault. So it was really interesting to see that because everybody falls, and now you're not in the life category. Time is chewed away, and ultimately it kind of left me questioning what was going on. But OU take map 3.
They took a little bit too long to clear out that pool side. They were really checking angles. They were thinking somebody maybe got in on the flank or was staying in that vault area. It didn't happen to be the case. So, yeah, I agree with you. A little head scratching in that moment when you only had 30 seconds. It's not necessarily the side of the map that you want to be pushing through. You want to essentially be going through that P1, be going towards that outer street, take over the middle of the map and maybe that top balcony, and those are the real power positions that you need.
They are indeed. OU played them just a tad bit better, and again, the man that we love to call Hazzy, the captain of this team, when he brings out the AR, we can see just what goes on. I will say I felt like Duffy had a bit more of an impact on that map 3, especially on the offense side of things.
Yeah, he was finding a few 3 pieces, looked solid overall, and he just kind of a player that has these novel situations where it's always something unique out of him. He's not your typical AR. Yes, he might move as slow as molasses every now and then, but there's times where it's like, why are you there now? He always somehow picks up the other team's play style, and he uses it against them.
It takes him a map to get going, though. It takes him a map to get going.
It does, yeah, 100%.
It takes him a map. All right, well, we'll see what happens here. As we're heading into map 4, which is a Skyline hardpoint. Graf, you are not a fan favorite of this. Tell me why.
you and I were talking about this
Oh,
before the
I know
stream
why,
started.
but
You know why, but there's just something about this map where, yes, it's just kind of a gritty map. If you're the team that's gonna outslay, you're simply gonna win. You can hold points incredibly well, and there are moments where you can get that deep spawn, but more often than not, when two teams are equally matched, it's just constant chaos. It's not fundamental Call of Duty or essentially relying on the gunny, which at times it's fun to watch, but not for an entire map. Since I am an old head, I love the good old traditional Call of Duty. You rotate, you're able to lock down a spawn, and they were going to have that deep outs like they do in Red Card. Yes, I'm a big fan of Red Card. You
yeah,
know this
yeah.
one, Corpse, as well. And so when you have those traditional style of hard points in Call of Duty maps, I think it shows the true talent and who's actually a well-practiced squad.
I agree with you. I mean, last night I got to do ZGL Grand Finals and Loser Finals, and Skyline was map one for both of them, like
Oh
for
gosh,
both
yeah.
matchups. And each
Doesn't
matchup,
surprise me.
right, each matchup went 250 to 248, and like it's fun to
Oh,
watch those, but at the same time, like it's such a long map. You kind of get your when it goes that long, I've run out of things to say because I'm just like at this point, it's just like yeah, it's about spawn outs, it's about reading spawns, it's about people. It's brain rot, it's brain rot, it's brain rot.
and you again, it's like Bocage as well, just because of how chaotic it is. But Bocage did not. It was not the same.
No.
Bocage, you were spawning right next to the hill. You were getting into an engagement every second. It's not like Skyrim where it gives you like one or like that 2 to 3 seconds to get into a line of sight to take a gunfight, but it again allows for those types of players that rely on slaying more than their chemistry and teamwork, and sometimes allows them to trump. Typically, I let me guess this: was it a U18 team that was playing Skyline?
Um, it was Alpha Esports, the Latin American Challengers winners, and then
Oh wow.
well, yes, I mean Omid Brooklyn. They also played Skyline Map One, so I mean U18. So yeah.
That doesn't shock me because they just want to run. They want a gun. They
Yeah.
want to have fun. As a viewer experience, it's got to be fun for you guys. As a commentator, I want a little something with a little more gusto, a little more sustenance in there than just those simple sugars, those simple carbs. But we're going to be heading on into it. Either way, you were talking about getting into the gym. Skyline, it absolutely has one.
It does indeed, and we see a lot of people play the gym in the S&D side of things,
Mm.
which for those that are seeing the graphic for the first time, it is going to be our map 5 if it goes the distance. Now the series is 2-1. It's been a little bit interesting because again, the first 3 maps we've praised OU and how it's been kind of their stronghold based off reps. That has been those like Vault and Hasi, the go-to maps, no matter what game mode. And no matter what map it is going to be theirs for the taking. Now, I will say it was as a surprise to us that Midway came away with map 2. What did they do? Because I'm not going to lie, a lot of those rounds felt like it was going OU's way every now and then.
Again, it comes in with the aggression in the sense of some OU players. They try to take some routes when it necessarily isn't always the timing to do so. You had a team kill come on in from Broby, stripped him of his driver's license, maybe got a DWI. We're not too sure in the background, but it kind of goes to show with how you play the map. They adapted incredibly well, and they were decisive. You pointed it out during is they knew exactly when to get the bomb plant down. They did not hesitate, and they forced the side of OU to start making plays.
They did, and I love how you pointed out getting the bomb down because that is something that OU has struggled with, like especially when it's kind of a given. Like we saw that early on. I think it was the first round actually. They got into a 2v2 situation. They cleared out the whole A bomb site, and I know OU. I've seen this more and more. They like to play corners when it gets to lower situations, when it gets to those 1v1s, when it gets to the 2v2s. It's almost like they're playing for checkouts in a sense. And don't get me wrong, I know picking a corner and just making it easy on yourself is the best solution. But at the same time, like me and you are like, hey, when you got it, get the bomb down and honestly make the other team do the like cruddy corner checking.
The credit corner checking is going to be critical on a map like Skyline because it could be so frustrating just to lose that one gunfight. At times, it feels like when you bang out towards that A site, towards the kitchen area, it reminds you of the middle of the map in Rio from the last tile
Oh, yeah.
because It is just a numbers game. If your submachine guns, they find a double, it's over. You're not going to be able to come away with those battles 9 times out of 10. I would even say 19 out of 20 times to even go that much farther and give them that extra 5%. Still, it allows these players to just get so aggressive and take fast routes. And it shows how quick some of these players are able to make decisions and read where the other team is spawning.
I love it. I love it. So this is gonna be a side rant right here, Graph. But I feel like with how these maps have evolved, I feel like I can see where the developers were going with the maps and how each map has a different play style to it. The problem is nobody ever plays that correctly. That's the thing.
They play it for pub matches. That's what they don't design them for competitive. Even though Treyarch they take every single play style or player into consideration. Yes, they try to design them for some competitive scenes, but it just comes down to player testing. In some instances of, hey, like this is not going to be a good map for competitive. I can see it being fun on pubs. Either way, we're going down a rabbit hole that I do not want to go. As Midway, they find a few points here towards that P1, and that's been the decider for me. Can you garner some good seconds, 20 or 30, on the P1 consistently? And so far, Ohio, they might come away with 30. And they actually don't.
No, they don't. But the next thing is how well you're able to maintain spawns for P2. Now, I know we talk about how this is such a slay-heavy map, and a lot of the times the spawns are finicky, but there is some degree that you can at least keep everybody in front of you. Even if you don't win that P1, that first hill, you can say, hey, I just want everybody in front of us. As long as we keep track of everybody, every member, then we're fine.
Yeah, they're doing fine. It's a kill feed. It is all green like the moolah, and the points that they are collecting, they push everybody out. Hazzy taking pressure away on the map as he stops and hesitates and thinks, wow, that was a beautiful gunfight win. As he immediately backs up and has the help from his few teammates, but as soon as it was looking good, they got broken down. Somebody took a route.
That was insane, bro. He's just like, yeah, you know, I did that. I just did that. But now I go and overextending his presence, 14 seconds left at old. They're going to try and flip spawns. Something I think Midway did really well in map 1. At times, there was certain hills where which is why they kept it so close, is where they were able to kind of dictate and how they wanted it, especially early on in that map, in that vault hardpoint. We saw it early, number 2 anchored a lot, but on Skyline, it's a little bit different. We can see they want a playstyle. It all just comes down to kills.
This kitchen hill, I've seen teams play this so passive for the P4 rotate that they just consistently try to go in through fireplace, and that is not the way to do it. You have to take control of middle of the map or over towards that hot tub side. Even if you lose it, you cannot allow these full 60s to come through, and I have seen teams give up consistent 40, 50, 60 seconds here on this kitchen. Midway, they do the right thing. They find the breaks through the middle of the map.
They do indeed. Great job coming off that split spawn. They're just collapsing in time, picking off the ARs on the side part of this P3 hill. But now the player to watch is Broby. He's just going to slice this like a Swiss Army knife or Swiss cheese, whatever the saying is. He comes in, grabs some scrap time, and now you're already focusing on the front side of P4, which, when in doubt, in fact, this is the only money hill on this map that I think of. I know people say P3, P4, but no, it is P4 to me, Graf.
It is the P4, and I wish they almost put another hill in here down low or somewhere else that it was going to be a little bit more contested. This map is small, so I realize why they could only do 4, but it's in the bathroom so far. It's Midway. They are sitting in a good spot. 40 seconds left. Nobody has positioning on them. Ohio gonna have a tough time finding the break.
Hey, you talk about this. Suni has done a great job off spawn here. Number 5 has also done a good job. Just watching top cobble and back grass. He's just popping up and down, finding these kills when it's needed. Unfortunately, he gets sniffed out there. But again, you leave some room, and finally the collapse comes in. I do say for OU, they like to chow hills super late on this map, which I feel like works out for them. But it's also why we've seen Skyline for them go back and forth super, and then why we have those like 250, 248 endings.
It is a forgiving map in that sense, because you can chow these hills old, at least for the most part. Going on to a P1, though, if you have a good map presence, with your ARs, it's that much more difficult. You see number 64 on your map. That's Broby taking a route here. Should be able to deal with one in the back. This should be the break coming on through, and that is what you need to do. Nobody was dealing with it. They find the opening, they execute.
This is crazy. He's pre-firing the point like he's expecting somebody to be there when nobody was. I think Duffy just ran right by somebody. I don't know if that was a teammate or not, but he does find a kill nonetheless. Another thing about this. Oh my God, I just had a gasp right there. Sorry, I'm worried.
This man is overcast.
Dude, what's going on? Let me sniff real quick. There we go. We're back at P1. Graph.
Man, he said take a sniff. I hope he's not doing a line. No, we're joking out here. Complete joke out here. We like to have a little bit of fun, but not that much. As it's Hazzy 15 and 13 as he sits with 31 seconds. Broby watching the elevator shaft, making sure there's no funny business coming through. And oh no, he's gonna nade out his team. You can almost see it. It was like Lamar Jackson looking down his player and throwing the pick right to the other team.
Oh my God, that was hilarious, bro. It's almost like, hey, I'm challenging Top Cat. No, I'm nading it. Wait, but it doesn't matter. They find 3. E-Man on the break of his own. He's finding a double, keeping things chaotic. But nobody there for the spawn, or nobody there for the side of Midway. Everybody died off spawn. Now you got to go for yet another break, which I will say, Broby's holding down back barbecue quite well.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. He is the grill master. The man has the apron and everything as Broby 18 and 15 looking for one more. When he starts getting going, he is a freight train that simply cannot be stopped, and he makes it 5. Starting to put the pressure on Zuni, though. This guy has been a backbreaker for the side of OU.
He has indeed. 14 and 18 though. He's having a little bit of a slow map on a subs playground. I would like to see him turn up a little bit, but that's where Eternals comes in. Eternals did a great job in map 1. He was also coming in the kill feed a lot, breaking hills like P1 and P3 when it was necessary for the subs to go in and enter, and obviously he was hitting routes as well. But the problem is this Midway team, I feel like it really comes down to their initial gunfights off spawn or their initial breaks, where they have been struggling, which is why we have seen a little bit more choppy gameplay, a little bit more 3-for-1 trades on these hills.
E-Man could be the G-Man as he does go down. It's another break. This time it's in favor of OU on the P3 instead of the other way around. They're playing for the spawns incredibly well. Broby holding the top side, making sure nobody's trying to slip in through the archway, but they leave maybe one angle open. That's going to be where number 7 is hitting. E-Man trying to take a route as he does take down Hazzy, so Clutch has to come in, has to deliver 2, gets 1. Can he find the second? Absolutely. Eternals, though. He wins the other, and he gets 2 of his own. Midway in a great spot here to bring this game back.
They are, and this was the hill last rotation, or sorry, the first rotation. We saw this. This was their money hill. This was the one where I think they got like 45 seconds at time, and they just did a good job of cutting off angles. They were reading it perfectly, and again, look at this in the kill feed. It's starting to look a little bit more blue and green. Going, so gonna have to hold his own. He's only able to find 1. Gonna have to be annoying, gonna have to be a nuisance, but Broby, he's hunting him down. They get a clean break with 30 seconds left. They have put the, they have popped the tire inside of Midway.
They pop the tire, and they can't get off the runway as E-Man, though, comes in, tries to take down 1, as he will eventually fall. The trades are through, but getting that break at 30, 40 seconds is massive. You're going to be able to clean up the scrap. It still feels like in these respawns, Ohio has always held the advantage.
It always has. No matter what the point is, no matter what the lead is, they are just outslaying their opponent. And again, that has been their forte all COD. We look at Broby. He's on another 30 bomb. Not as quite as impressive as map 1, but still 30 on the skyline is impressive to me.
You can fight for every single second of scrap if you want with a 60-point lead on a map like Skyline. As long as you hold the P2, they're winning the gunfights anyways. Broby, I thought for the moment was about to get a nasty triple, get shut down, and Midway, they're still not going away. They're not giving a ton of time here to the side of Ohio, but they're not getting any of their own either.
The hard part is nobody's there. Nobody's there to overlook the player on the hill, so he has to play his life. Everybody's doing the wall bangs, and if you're Eternals, you're trying to hop over this pool. You're trying to be like, hey, whoa, what's going on? Broby's like, nope, no running on my patio.
No running on the patio, because if you slip and fall and crack your head, I do not have the insurance to cover it, is what he says. I'm just a college student, as they are going to try to bust on in through the front door. I like this quick hit. Broby, though, delivers a two-piece. This guy is about to drop another 40 bomb, this time on the skyline.
Look, I'm sorry, Broby. I said 30 kills wasn't enough. He's like, hold up, watch this. And he just goes off for 7 more, 8 more,
Oh,
9
my
more. I
goodness.
mean, he's on a 5 spree. Everybody else is holding their own because, look, everybody from the side of Midway, they don't want to run his way. They're like, nope, we're going top side of the minimap, and he's checking the bottom. It doesn't matter, bro.
Oh, and Zuni can't win it. Gets him down to 13, and he might take this. And he almost gets another one. Maybe you give him an extra 20 HP. He comes away with it. Still, every single second is good time. Zuni, though, snapping onto a few players in green. Eternals, unfortunately, does not have any support at the moment, and it gets broken down as that kill feed lights up blue just for a moment, but still a long way to go.
So, Broby, dude, he's in this corner here. He's gonna play for cutoff kills. Everybody's circling the map, though. Couple nice ones, I will say. Everybody side of Midway, they go through top cat. It doesn't matter. They get this. Look at this. They find a break here. They're in prime position because, like I said, this P3, P4 chain is a really good one on Skyline if you're able to find the kills and deal with the pressure through the middle of the map, which it looks like OU's doing. So, if you're Midway, a stronghold, you at least need to extend this hill to 16 seconds in time to force another one.
And they're doing a good job, but eventually the numbers start to overwhelm. E-Man takes a route, gets a solo. Goins needs to go big. Can he have the trades in quick enough? Not quite. The players in green, they only need a few extra seconds. They're trying to put this game on ice.
And they do just that. Entryman Duffy with a nice 2-piece. I may be anticlimactic, but OU, they show what's up on Skyline. They end up taking the series 3-1, and a nice little, I guess, senior night win.
Oh, it's senior night, so they weren't going to give this one up for free. Oh, okay. Well, lying to everybody out there. I see how it is.
No, but I'm saying, like, you know how it is. Last game of the season's usually senior night, so, like, I don't know, senior night.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying now. Me a little bit slow, and I haven't been in college for a long time, or high school for that matter, but I understand where you're coming from now. Broby putting up another 4,900 damage in a hard point, and it wasn't even not close. But if it was a 250, 248, that man's dropping 50, 5,500 damage. The guy was putting out.
Look, all I can say is, Broby, you have shown out last week. Carry this into playoffs or conference playoffs, however that'll work. I don't know specifically how it will, but as we take a look at maps and modes for one last time, Graf, give us the breakdown of how this series went.
Oh, absolutely. I love to give a little bit of a Graf the Giraffe recap as we kicked it off on the Vault Hardpoint. It was a little bit of a close one until it wasn't. It was a 250 to 201 victory in favor of OU. Then we go on to their favorite map, the Hacienda Search and Destroy. They were in the lead 4-2, but they dropped 4 straight, allowed the side of Midway to come in and at least get themselves on the board. They lose it in a 6-4 fashion. You go back to the vault, you head on into the control, and you make sure you lock it down on the attack and on the defense. You get it done in a swift 3-1, and then it all ends on the skyline. Sir Broby fans out there, the Broby lovers, they cannot get enough of them. They are the ravenous Taylor Swift fans, but of the Broby type era, as he drops 43 kills, 4,900 damage, 250 to 150, and the side of Ohio, they're going to finish out in 4th for the Midwest Metro as they finish off, I think, what is it, 11-3, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, we finished 11-3. I think map count record is, oh God, I don't know what map count record is. We've had a lot of 3-0s, but I know we also got 0-3'd a lot. So we'll see. These guys are, I got to get out of here because these guys are about to run some ranked a little bit, and they're a little too high for my lobby. But, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, thank you for showing out for the last week of OU COD. I do apologize for the audio delay. Z-Man was not here for production. I had to fill in, and right now, like, it's always a tough task to do both. But, Graf, I missed you, buddy. Always fun to do another week with you. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for news about the playoffs. Again, I don't know how that's going to work, but we love you, and peace.